Right, so welcome you all to this particular platform. This is Pinax News, and the ongoing situation that we are battling on is still on mourning of the Nigerian gospel singer Osinachi, whose popular music is Eku With Me. We all know that just recently on social media, she has become the talk of the news because of what led to her death. People are pointing fingers at her husband, saying because of how she was being treated at home. And the husband, who is Mr. Peter Inwachuku, has also come out to the public domain to tell us all that it entails. Firstly, he says that the wife's soul will not be at peace if he is being arrested. Secondly, he said it was the devil that used him in others for all that was happening to the wife, happening to him. Happened to her, and also according to him, he says that he has evidences from the doctor's perspectives which shows that what led to her death was as a result of a heart attack where she was being sent to the hospital for some days. So this is what is ongoing actually. So girls, what do you think about the current situation that is happening?
Well, this issue is a very sad one. And I mean, this is a typical example of a man blaming the devil for his mischiefs. Why are there? It's the devil's fault. Mm-hmm. It's like cheating and then you are being caught and then you are blaming the devil. In fact, the devil is in hell right now. I'm sure he has just folded his arms with his mouth wide open, just looking at the man. Because looking at what you've done, and instead of you to say something better for people to, just calm down. You are out and you are saying it's not your fault, and you are blaming the devil for whatever you've done. Is it the devil that held your leg or is it the devil that held your hand to punch the woman?
Don't you think sometimes religion puts us in the prison where we are unable to release what we have to do? As in, it engulfs us. Instead of opening up on things that is surrounding us, we blame the devil for everything.
I think the idea of we, the Africans, putting blames on the devil. I don't think the devil will come and hold your hands and tell you to go and steal, go and kill, murder someone. That thing needs to be abolished. Satan will not come and tell you to go and do this thing.
No.
That thing, Africans are putting this in their head that is the devil. The devil will not come and hold your hand to go and
I'm sure the devil is even tired by now.
Of course. The devil will not come and hold your hand to go
Okay, so looking at the situation at the moment, what do you think was the root source of it? Because according to the research, people said when she was being advised on how to take the things at home, all she said was she's against divorce. And so the husband will change for the better.
That's a typical woman talking.
Mm-hmm.
A well brought up woman. You know, some are being trained to endure whatever BS their husbands make them go through.
Even if it will kill you, should you endure it?
What society will say, hey, I'm scared if I leave this man, what is my church going to say?
Mm-hmm.
What is society going to say? I mean, somehow I blame her for her death though. She had the option of leaving, but she chose to stay. She chose to involve her kids in the sin. I read one article whereby the kids were like, their daddy sometimes tie their mom and then make them. She involved her kids into the sin. She had the option of leaving. Leave after you think about what to do next, how to go about things. Ignore society. Sometimes we just pay attention to society and then we do things or we land into trouble.
That's the thing. Society didn't force you to go and get married to the man. When the man came to propose you, where was society?
Good.
Society wasn't around.
And
you
even
accepted the proposal and then you were being abused. So you should have left the marriage. But instead you chose to stay and then you are dead.
Even her stepsister came out to say that she wasn't calling for anything like divorce because, you know, when people sometimes they are in love, it looks as if their sense of humor sometimes leave them at a point of time.
Love. She was thinking about her fame.
Yeah, she was thinking about her family.
Now, there's this stigma that comes with divorce. Let's take Ghana, for instance. Some of our gospel musicians who are divorced, how people sometimes treat them.
Of course.
Recently was this lady, Joyce Blessing. I think she was ministering to a congregation.
And she was
out
harassed.
of nowhere, just came to take out saying,
go back to
your husband. I mean, you don't know what she's going through.
Yeah.
You don't know if she's being abused or not. But then you are just pushing her back. All these things make women think, they sit and think, say, Charlie, and if I don't go back, the stigma and everything that I'm going through society and stuff, they go back and then they fall into.
And then Osinachi wasn't just a singer; she was an international singer. There was I watched a certain video of her where she was singing in our local dialect. I mean, Chi. She was singing in Chi, but she's a Nigerian, and she wasn't just a singer, an international singer. So, leaving your marriage just because you are being abused, she was thinking of what society will say.
So you are blaming her for apportioning things on the society rather than herself.
Of course. And I learned per the information or the research I made. I learned the church and other family members advised her to leave, but she was like, no, she would stay. Her husband would change.
Sarah even said she should go for separation. You know, there is a time that they do separate them for like a month or two.
Yeah.
In order for things to come back to how it was, then you come back. So do you think that in a relationship, you have to make a reconsideration before you say, yes, I do?
So should you stay in a relationship when your man is when your man is abusing you and say, you are just thinking about it, whether to leave or not?
Even in dating, if you are dating a guy, he slaps you first one, he slaps you second one. Don't wait for third one. Don't just sit down and then say my man will change. My man will change.
Even the first
he
one,
loves me.
The first
he will
one,
change.
the first one said you have to leave.
Oh, okay.
Because you are dating him for Christ's sake. You are not married.
What even shows that when after you guys
kids
are married
and they are married,
they have kids and they are married.
Yes.
You should live for your children. Now you are no more. Look, your first son is even 12 years old.
You are no more. Your husband is
very young,
and then no one can take care of their children better than she would have done.
Of course.
Exactly.
And then she's no more. Her family can't take care of their children just like how she has been doing. No one.
So do you think there was the need for the religious leaders to have sat them down in order to put some sense in her brain? Maybe on her own notion, she didn't want that stigmatization like we earlier mentioned.
I am sure the church did something to help. They haven't come out to say it, but I am sure one way or the other they knew about what was going on. I'm sure she told them, and then I'm sure they did something about. But you know, what I'm saying is, she was so much into society that also, as in, if I leave right now, what is society going to say? They're going to give me that divorcee tag. I can't even give a relationship advice when I go to church, because after they say stop, because you see that thing.
So when they start giving you those kind of stuff, you just come out and explain your reasons why you left or your reasons behind you leaving the marriage. Because you can't just stay in a marriage and be like, okay, I'm afraid of what society will say. So if that's the case, then let me just be in it and then pray to God and see that this marriage will change.
Because right now you are gone. And just look at what this man is even saying.
Of course, and then
blaming it on the devil.
I wouldn't be shocked. If a report comes out and say the man was mentally ill. I wouldn't be shocked.
Oh, I wouldn't be even.
Why does he have a bipolar or something?
Of course, I wouldn't be shocked. All
right, so let's move to the first.
Supposed to do an autopsy to discover what really killed the woman. Then it is being delayed because the family members that are supposed to represent at the hospital are not there. How would you know?
There are witnesses.
How would you know whether there's something behind that thing?
Okay.
Because we have. So
are you relating this to spiritual something?
I'm not relating this to spiritual.
Okay, so let's move to the first one that the man has come out to say. We know that he is the one in the box at the moment. That he is saying that if he is being arrested, it will affect the wife's soul resting in peace.
How would it affect your wife? How is that going to affect your wife?
The wife,
for crying out loud, the wife is already dead.
And she wasn't happy in a relationship.
So how is that going to...
in the marriage? So how is
I am sure she even rejoiced wherever she is if the man is arrested at the moment.
Of course.
She has been abused for years. Right now, I am sure she's resting. She's peaceful wherever she is, and she would love her murderer or or she would love to get the justice that she's supposed to get. Yes,
justice must be served.
Because right now we've had an information that the man had a secret family somewhere.
I read about it. I think 10 years before he married.
So does it mean that sometimes we go according to conditions in order to stay in a marriage?
What conditions? Because per the information like what with my information I got, the woman was suspecting the husband.
Yeah.
That she.
I learned one time she even went to her his room.
Yes.
And then started searching stuff, but she never found anything.
Yes.
Information.
And then who knows?
That's how
Maybe
wicked men could
that might be the main reason the husband was.
So wait, does it mean they weren't sleeping in one room?
That's the best question, because you cannot be in the house. Anyway, men are so you cannot detect how a man secretly is doing things. We all tag ladies as very wicked, but when a man wants to play you wicked, they go extra mile. For you to come to say that your wife won't rest in peace doesn't mean she has been revealing herself to him spiritually or what. Does this have any spiritual background?
He's the best person to answer this, because I'm just wondering why he is saying his.
In as much as people want him arrested, there are lots of people who are sympathizing with the family. There are also people behind him who somehow think he's innocent.
How innocent is he?
They
just killed someone.
I am sure people are.
The children are the big evidence here right now.
Yes.
They've come out. They've spoken to the Minister of Women's Affairs. That's the Nigerian Minister of Women's Affairs.
Okay.
They've opened up to the woman. So I don't know why the police or their courts are still dragging this whole thing. The children have given out their. They were there. They are witnesses to what their mother went through, and they've opened up. So the government or the police was to act on it, but not be sitting there and be like, the man is saying this, the man is saying that, we are supporting him, we are supporting that. No.
So what do you think should be a punishable offense that will serve as an scapegoat to everybody who is involved in this act? So that
Do you want to know?
We have to put a stop to that.
I think they should just give him. No, first of all, I think he should be tied, beaten just the way he beat that woman. Secondly, he should be put into a room full of black ants. Yes, full of black ants for a couple of hours. That's what I think. Then, thirdly, maybe firing squad or something. He should also, yes. I don't think he should leave.
His death will be very simple. What about you? What do you think should be the punishable offense?
He should be skinned alive.
Skinned alive.
Wow. He should be skinned alive, because like the woman has suffered, of course.
So counting down, her firstborn is 12 years, and the woman is 42 years. So let's count
30
at 30. So meaning from 12 years, and even before she gave birth, we learned she was going through the same trauma, because according to some info that we had, when she was on her way to, like, if she's going out for ministrations and all that, sometimes the husband restricts her and says that she's not supposed to go to that extent and limits her. So there are some platforms that she was supposed to have enjoyed, but because of the husband, she wasn't able to go.
A minister of God, a singer, I'll say an artist, Christ's sake, she has really suffered. Because how would you go for a show, you get money, and then out of love, should I feel give the money to your husband?
The man is the devil himself.
Of course.
Why? Because I learned he's a pastor too. I don't know if he's a junior pastor. Why would you stop your wife, who is full of anointing,
yes,
from going to church to minister? I feel he's the devil himself.
Maybe he was jealous about the fact that he will be. But we don't support violence.
Some men are like that. They don't like it when their wives are in the limelight, and then anywhere he goes, they just tag him as, so that's Osinachi's husband. He doesn't have a name for himself.
No man in his right senses will be jealous of his wife.
Oh, there are some men like that.
That's why I say no man in his right senses.
Okay.
Because if you are not a right person to think and then be like, I got married to my wife, for better for worse, we are one. So if my wife is making it in life, meaning I also enjoy part of it, but then you stop her. You stop her from making it in life. You stop her from going out to sing. I mean, no man in his right senses will do that.
So it means that the wife and the husband had some secret thing that they didn't want anybody to know. Because how come you are with somebody and you are not proud of what the person is doing?
I don't know whether it was a forced marriage or I don't know. I can't tell.
So
So this thing we have to
what was the family, the woman's family doing? I'm sure she reports that her husband has been abusing her.
Yes.
You see,
what was the family doing?
Her twin sister came out to say that she asked Osinachi to come out of the relationship, at least to take care of the kids. And her response was, I don't want the tag divorce, and my husband will change.
But
for
she
the
wants
better.
the late tag, the late Osinachi tag, because that's what she has now.
It means that we have been
It's better
killing
to be given.
ourselves.
It's better to have that divorcee tag rather than the late something.
See, I'm pretty sure they are more into this because we
Okay.
are just discussing. We are just saying this based on what we are reading and what is coming up. But I'm sure they are more into this. 'Cause
Yeah, I'm sure.
you are
I'm
you
sure.
are being abused
Mm.
physically, emotionally, psychologically, and you are
It
like,
means it even affects you when you go on stage
of
or when you're
course,
performing.
of course, and then you are just
If you listen to the woman's song, the Ekweme, it's like she was talking to God about her pain. If you really look at her, this one,
reactions and then
She was passionate about it.
yes, it's like she
Okay.
was talking
and
to
even
God about her
there's this
pain.
current song
Mm.
of her. The title is "The Cry."
Yes,
So like we could have tell that she was really going through a lot.
So
but
does
then
it
she
mean
didn't
that
want to
people
come out,
put
come and
their
say it.
emotions into what they bring on board?
yeah.
And
Some
so we
people
have
do.
to be paying much attention to
Of
that.
course.
Mhm.
Of course. Of
Okay.
course.
There's a saying that there's a lot of truth told in jokes. Some people can't tell you the truth
Mm-hmm.
directly, but they'll do it in the form of a joke. So you just have to
Okay.
pay attention to it.
Attention.
So this woman's song, looking at it, the video and her facial expressions and stuff, you could see she was in pain.
Emotional.
Even though people around would be like, hey, she's in the spirit and
Mhm.
stuff.
course.
It's like she's talking to God about her pain,
Wow.
what she is going through.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the nephews at least
She was in that. Okay, moving on to the second point. The man is now saying that it was the work of the devil. We are always blaming the devil for what we are going through.
The devil is tired.
And so he says that, in fact, sometimes what he was doing, it wasn't in his right senses. He wasn't conscious about
So the
it.
devil always.
So it was the devil that was pushing him to do that.
So
Listen.
anytime he abuses his wife,
Mm.
it's the devil.
Mhm.
Any
Yes.
minute, any hour, any second, it was the devil.
Yeah, you see, the
And-
devil
and
finds
then
work for the
he's
idle man.
expecting humans
To believe him.
To believe it was the devil.
Yes.
For Christ's sake, we are all humans. I can decide to go and kill. The devil has no idea about it.
But the devil
doesn't
gave
know.
you that idea.
You
Now-
can also
now
decide to
every-
stop it.
Every bad thing is related to the devil. You catch a thief and then he tells you, it's
It's
not
the
my
devil.
fault, it's the devil.
Mm.
You catch a husband cheating and then it's not my fault, it's the devil.
It's the
Did
devil.
the devil hold
The
your
devil's
hands to go and
plan.
steal?
The devil is tired.
Did the devil tell you
But
to
the
go
devil
and
could push
cheat?
you to do what you are not.
You
in
How?
your right
resist,
sense
you
to
can
do.
resist it.
Mm.
This is
This
a
is the devil.
pastor.
So it means that with self-control, you will be able to
Of
control
course,
everything.
of course. He could
Okay.
have resisted touching his wife.
Mm-hmm.
He could have resisted.
I mean, it's a
beating
woman
his
you
wife.
have like 3 or 4 kids,
Kids
with,
with, yes,
and then you abuse her every day.
every time.
And then you go to bed in the evening and then you still do with her. Come on.
And then she too allow herself for you to do the do.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
maybe don't you think that the lady had something that she was hiding, and that was something the husband had a hand on her?
That's why I said that I'm more into this thing because we are just talking about
We are
it from the
just-
shallow
yeah, it's all-
exponential
it's-
ideology.
it's-
But
because
we
then
only
still-
know what we are reading.
Mm-hmm.
So
We don't know
Mhm.
behind the scenes.
You
and
don't
on
know
the
behind
bed.
the
We are
scenes.
not there with
and then
him.
I'm also just wondering why the children, of course, couldn't even come out to come and say what their
The
mother-
children came out to say that.
That was when they were forced to speak.
So it
I
means
think
that
they
there
said
was
they are
something-
happy the
Mhm.
man is arrested because the man sometimes shouts on
And
them
even
or
the
beats
man
them.
told them not
So-
to what open up when they asked them about their mother's what abuse.
Death.
He
Yes.
instilled fear into the kids.
So this aspect of it, was it the devil that told the man to tell his children not to?
Of course,
open up?
he's apportioning the blame to all.
No,
But
I think
somehow, bro.
the devil left hell and it's now this man. We have to be very careful.
Then whenever we meet Peter in Wachuku, we should know that he is the devil's
I mean,
reincarnate.
if this man is patrolled on the streets of Nigeria,
Mm.
there are lots of people who I'm sure he'll either get killed or be beaten because the way people are very, they want justice for this lady.
But you know we are not supposed to be violent, and we are supposed to deal according to the law.
Law.
Yes. So with the law, what there are a lot of punishable offenses there. For instance, abusing somebody, even when you murder
Then you should be
someone,
sentenced to death. That's it.
you'll be sentenced.
That's
to
how
death.
I'm saying
He
the
should.
firing squad. If Nigeria has it, they should just give him the firing squad.
Or he should be sentenced
Or-
to death
Yes.
by hanging.
For how long? Because
By
the man
hanging.
he's really enjoying
By
himself
hanging.
by hanging.
Yes.
Okay.
But what I was talking about, we should look at the kids too.
Who is going to take care of them?
If the man is given the death penalty or any capital punishment which is going to affect him, what about the kids? They are going to be orphans now.
Yes.
There's no one going to take better care of their kids like their parents.
But the husband.
But the kids were already suffering before all these happened.
But still, they were taken care of.
Yes.
School, going to school, money and stuff.
They were
are
taken care of 12 years. He's now in class 5. Being taken care of 12 years now in class 5. He claims he can't even he can't learn.
He didn't have that peace at home.
Of course.
No,
And you know peace counts in everything that we do.
He needs to be given a peaceful environment.
And this thing will definitely haunt him till he grows.
Because somehow they'll feel they're also part of their mom's death.
Of course.
It will haunt them forever.
Yes. I mean, you beating your mother. I don't even remember the time I even hit my mom. Hey, African woman. Hey, what is slippers doing there? What is broomstick?
All right, so let's move on to the third point. And he said he has evidences that proves that the doctors showed the wife had a heart disease, and that was what led to her death, and not apparently about the bad treatment that she was given to her.
When the death of this woman came out, the first thing I heard was she died of, is it cancer?
Throat cancer.
Throat cancer.
And I believed it because when you are a singer, you sing from your thorax, and then the more you pressure the thorax, you definitely get a cancer. So sometimes they just they go for surgeons and then they take out the thorax for them. So is
it the phlegms or there are
the more you are,
things?
no. Sometimes you get cold and if you are even coughing, you feel pains. So imagine a singer.
And the more
always
you,
going for
even if
program,
you shout, there's this pain in your
praying,
esophagus.
you feel pains. So the more you pressure it, the more it gets what? It gets it becomes a sore and then
So
ends
with
up getting
this,
a cancer.
then it means that even though the husband was treating her bad, she also had some complications in her system that she needed to be taken care of.
Aside they bringing the cancer report or cancer claim that she died out of cancer, her children have spoken. And then besides, I'm sure many weren't blind because they really saw what was going on.
No, because when the woman's death came out, it was just this cancer issue going around.
And then
So
the family
Because
the
the husband
domestic
said it
violence,
was since
something.
November last year.
it was, I'm sure it's it's like a sore. He has been beating his wife. It's like a sore, as a crooked sore, small sore. The more you don't treat it, you just leave it.
And it becomes big
yes.
as time goes on.
So I'm sure he's just been beating her small. To see an eye can see.
beating her, definitely she will shout.
And I like he stepped on
her chest.
Yeah, sorry, her
One
chest.
day she was coming from a ministration, and late in the night she was kicked at the chest, and then she bowed down, and that was where she was taken to the hospital. And unfortunately, we didn't hear the good news.
So where is this throat cancer coming from?
And so that is how come the blood went to circulate around her heart, and it stopped the pulses from beating.
You kicked my chest. How do you know whether
It's
I got
a very sad news.
an
It's
internal
very sad.
bleeding?
Because if she's coming from a program, meaning definitely she went to perform.
She's tired.
Yes.
She's tired.
Her
she
throat
shouted.
is dried
Exactly.
and stuff.
And then you just kick her.
Her chest.
Her
like
chest.
that.
So sometimes when
Where
there's-
was she? Were no neighbors? She had no neighbors.
They were in the car, she, her husband, and then her kids.
I mean, when she's been abused, doesn't mean she's always indoors.
so meaning she was even returned from the
from the
with
program
her
with
husband.
her husband.
The husband is the devil himself.
The devil himself.
Of course.
So it means that if you are entering into any relationship and you realize the man isn't proud of you or
Just
what you are
leave.
doing.
Now
You
there
just
was a
have to back
recent
up.
case where a lady called off her marriage. I don't know if you've seen that news.
Mm.
A Nigerian lady called off her marriage because she said her husband has been abusing her.
Yeah.
No, her husband to be has been abusing her.
Yes.
She claims the man. She knew the man since I think childhood.
Infancy, yeah.
Yes, and then she thought she knew him, but then 2 years that they've been dating, every day since the man paid her bride price, every day she's been abused. There's sometimes he even uses hammer.
Hey,
Yes.
to the extent.
The perception that when men get married to a woman, they pay their bride price, they think they've bought the woman.
No.
Why should you have that mentality in your
should
mind?
be taken out of this Africans mentality, because I don't think you paying a woman's bride price means you've bought her internally.
Do you think that it is lack of responsibilities that generates all these? Maybe you are not doing your things well as a woman, and your husband is not getting the womanly idealness that he is looking for in you, and that will make him go to that extent and treat you bad.
No. There are some marriages where the woman is not even performing well, but it's still there. It's still going on. At least the man either talks to the wife or something. But in this case, this man, and you see such things, this man, I'm sure it started from childhood. Something he has seen during his childhood.
Okay.
Maybe he had seen his mother or his father abusing, he has seen his father abusing his mother before, because he told his kids beating women is good.
Wow.
So I'm sure it's something that has been passed on. He saw his father beating his mother. His mother endured those. Yes. So it's some generational something. He's instilling into his kids. They'll marry, and then they will start beating their wives.
Yeah, because I read an article which says that before a husband become abusive, it starts from an abusive son.
Of course.
So if you are a mother and you are unable to train your child in that perspective, whenever the child grows up, he is unable to bring out that idealness in a man, because gentlemen don't hit ladies at all, no matter how angry they are. So it means that if there is violence at home, automatically there will be violence at home in his future or in any family that he brings up.
The kids are somehow traumatized now. I pray they get the therapy they need, because Charlie, it won't be easy for them. And then 12 years, you've seen your father abusing your mother constantly, every day, kicks her, insults her. I mean, there was a time he said he saw the mom stand by the roadside, even though she has 2 cars, and the father was driving one, and they waved at her. You waved at your mom standing in this hot sun. I'm sure she
and
was
the husband passed
by
like
her, and the kids were in the car, and they just waved at their mom while she was standing there waiting for a Trotsky to get home.
So it means that the wife considered something before saying yes, I do, because you cannot be with a man that you don't.
Maybe during their dating something, he was caring.
Yes.
You know, some men hide it, just like some women hide their attitude. Some men hide it. So I'm sure during their dating something, he was caring, buys her stuff.
And for 12 years, you couldn't see any change in the man, and you didn't repent of going in for another person.
That's why I say somehow I blame her for her death. I mean,
seriously, because it's really.
So with this heart issue that is killing people rampantly of late, many people are dying because of heart diseases. So do you think there are some precautions we have to be putting onto ourselves, especially we that are mostly on air, using our voices and a lot more?
There's a saying that black people don't like checkup. They don't go to the hospital. Black people don't like therapy. Even if there's something going on that they know so this thing is going to affect them. Therapy. I think we should just do regular checkups. Go to the hospital, check your internal organs, if everything is going well, eat the right food. Stay away from certain things, alcohol, weed, smoke. I mean, stay away from certain things and we'll be okay.
Drink more water.
Drink more water. It's very necessary.
It's very necessary. So please, if you are into this music, anything called voice, you should be able to be taking care of yourself. Even though she was going through this trauma, I believe she could have also done herself some more good by treating herself right. And we deserve the happiness. In fact, we have to place ourselves first before any other thing.
I always say in a relationship, just put yourself first. Just leave your partner. Also, you'll be bow. Exactly. You are somebody's child. You are somebody's future mother. You force
yourself to do things to please someone. Please yourself.
Please yourself.
Because you were who you are before the person came.
The person came. So it means you have to first find yourself before you find your partner.
Most women who are who let this emotional abuse and stuff affects them are women who don't love themselves. I mean, your husband tells you, I mean, you don't look beautiful, and then you also believe it. Not me. You tell me, say I don't look good. That's when Charlie, I will even mind you.
And then,
That's when you put things well.
You are too dark. Why are you too dark? Then you go and buy Proclear, then you start bleaching your skin just because you want to please your husband. My dear, you get cancer, skin cancer.
So it means that the goal here is to love yourself first,
Of course.
before family and any other thing. So guys, this is where time will permit us, but before we leave, you have to give us your last statement before we say bye-bye to anybody listening to us or watching us.
My advice to a marriage couple with kids in them, my advice to them is whenever they have an argument and then their children are around, they shouldn't display in front of their children, because the children really learn from them and they will use that in the future. So if you think your husband is doing something which you don't like, just leave. Keep quiet. Don't react. The husband will just keep quiet and go his way. When you find an ample time where your kids are not around, you just go to him and you talk to him quietly. Or when he's in a happy mood, you go to him and talk to him quietly, and then you solve the issue. That way there wouldn't be any conflict, there wouldn't be any abuse. But in a case where your husband does something, you also react. He says 1, you say 10, Charlie. He will slap you and then
you get your beaties out of your life.
And then the children will just be there. Then they'll be looking at you, and in the near future they'll also apply the same thing in their marriages, and which will just go on till the world comes to an end. So I'm just advising parents to take time, cool their temper when they are angry, and then after that, when they have the ample time, they discuss about it, and then that's it.
Okay. Susie, your last words.
Okay, so this one goes to everyone, not just married couples, those dating and stuff. If you feel your partner is abusing you, just leave. No, just leave. Yes, just leave.
Should you even date and let someone abuse you? Dating, and
just leave.
For someone to
and then
abuse
sometimes
you.
just create fun for yourselves. There are some couples that they are so focused on work and then house stuff that they don't even go out. They don't even remember the last time they went out to have fun for themselves. Charlie, life is short, so just have fun. But when he's abusing you, just leave.
All right, so we've now learned a lot from Osinachi's death, and I believe that, in fact, this is very clear and evidential for everybody who is venturing into partnership, or especially marriages. So we have to advise ourselves. So guys, it's a bye for now.